Hello everybody. Here we are. We are in class 4 and we're going to talk about DITA today. So these slides cover the concepts of the fourth session. Some of the slides are repeats from past slides. This is an online session. This week we asked you to read the DITA primer there. It's on the URL in the syllabus. Next week, we're going to have a quiz on XML, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, DITA, and CMS. I will also, because of the events that happened with Quiz 1, I will also offer a retake of Quiz 1 for people who are interested in that. So let's get right to it. DITA. DITA is the Darwin Information Typing Architecture. The standard is available at this URL here. DITA is the open standard that defines an XML architecture for designing, authoring, and managing publishing content. DITA is a topic-based system. DITA is a mature standard, broadly developed and supported. While there are many DITA success stories, there are also some failures. So the objective here is to make sure that you don't end up with a failure and rather know how to have success. So DITA is all about topics and maps. So the number of DITA topics and maps per output, their nesting and hierarchy usually causes complexity, making a content management system necessary. DITA operations require many roles. The ones that we'll talk about in this class are information architect, writer, editor, and system administrator. So this is rendered DITA. This is a data sheet. It was created via DITA topics and maps. This is the content management system view of that data sheet. You can see that there are several maps and there are several topics. This particular data sheet has about 200 DITA topics and maps. So this is the code view of a map. You can see that it's XML. You can see that it has a title and that it has links to various topics. This is a DITA code view of a topic. You can see that it has that it's XML, that it has some bullets, and it has some information here. It has a whole lot of metadata. In the XML class, we talked about the difference between elements and attributes. You can see that in this case, DITA has its own set of elements and its own set of attributes. So DITA is topic-based. So let's think about topic-based versus document-centric. Before DITA and topic-based authoring, the prevailing standard had been a document-centric standard called DocBook. DocBook is still alive and well. It's good for some things, but it's mostly for big, long manuals. It's not topic-based authoring. DocBook is an open standard, widely used and supported by tools. In DocBook, all of the topics that make up a document are in one single file. So here's a PDF file. We're looking at page 1 of 26. In DocBook, all of these topics would be, as I said, in one XML file, one big XML file. This is called the document-centric approach. And I'm going to contrast it with the topic-based authoring. So topic-based authoring, with the maturity of DITA and topic-based authoring, the mainstream is moving toward topic-based. DITA is an open standard. DITA is widely used and supported by tools. In DITA, all the topics that make up a document are separate, standalone files, and topics can be reused across many documents. That essentially is the strength of topic-based authoring. So here's that same data sheet, but this time it's as a PDF. There are 200 topics and maps. 60 topics and maps are reused across other publications like user manuals, other manuals, and other data sheets. So this is kind of the way that works. We have a data sheet map, DITA map, that has an introduction, it has key performance specifications, and it has a bunch of other topic files. Those same topics, topic files are used by other maps. So let's just say, in this case, we have a datasheet map, and we have a user manual map, and we have an instrument online help master map. each of which shares the introduction. So we have an introduction written once, translated into many languages, approved and published, but it's used by the user manual, the online help, and the datasheet, and so on and so forth. A lot of different manuals, a lot of different maps can share single topics. So that's how we get reuse and single sourcing. Topics in a big single DocBook file are not easily shared. So for example, if we had this performance specifications, it would not be real easy to share this, which is in a great big XML file, across many different files, many different outputs. So that's the difference between topic-based authoring and document-centric authoring. So the parts of DITA are topics, which are concepts, references, and tasks, and maps, which are DITA maps or book maps. There are other parts of DITA, but we won't focus on those in this class. So what about DITA topics? A DITA topic is the basic unit of the DITA content. A topic's scope is a single subject. A topic is short enough to be specific to a single subject or answer a single question, and it's long enough to make sense on its own and to be authored as a stand-alone unit. The generic or the untyped topic, sometimes called the cheater topic, it's not best practice to use it, but it does exist. And so it basically looks like an XML topic with XML elements and a reference to the general topic doc type declaration. Concept answers the question, what is? The concept topic should stand alone or provide an overview or background information for tasks and reference topics. But keep in mind the context of the concept topic is meant to provide for a task or reference the concept topic is meant to provide for the topic or reference cannot be guaranteed to be accompanied by that reference in all maps. So this is basically how a concept looks. It has a doc type declaration that resolves to the concept DTD, and it has concept specific elements. The reference topic is often called just the facts ma'am topic. The reference topic should stand alone or show examples of a concept or a list value associated with a task. But keep in mind, the examples or values the reference topic is meant to provide for the task or concept cannot be guaranteed to accompany that task or concept in all maps. The reference topic, once again, is XML. It refers to the reference doc type definition, and it has reference specific XML elements. The task topic answers the question, how do I? The task topic is empowered to thoroughly document a procedure, but the contextual and reference information should be contained separately in a concept or reference topic. Keep in mind the procedure that the task topic is meant to show cannot be guaranteed to accompany the task or reference topics in all maps. All topics must be written to stand on their own. And so the task topic, once again, it's XML. It's prescribed to have the task elements, and it resolves to the task DTD. So how do we tie those all together? We use maps. Maps are the mechanisms in DITA that enable topics to be organized for creating outputs or archives. Maps enable order and hierarchy to a set of topics. Maps come in two formats, either the DITA map or the Bookmap. The DITA map is kind of a generic map. It enables links to topics. It maps, the DITA map enables links to other maps, and the DITA map provides holders for metadata. DITA map allows for relation tables that create dynamic information sets and enable linking outside the content of the individual topics. We will not discuss relationship tables, just know that they exist. So a DITA map, once again, is XML. It resolves to the map DTD, and it has references to topics. So in this case, we have a reference to topic 1.dita. We have a title, and we know its scope is local. A bookmap is a specialization of DITA map that provides specific mechanisms for adding book-centric markup to enable turnkey book publication. The bookmap provides syntax for adding front matter and back matter, parts, chapters, and appendices, and book metadata. So the bookmap, once again, is XML. It resolves to the bookmap DTD. It also can reference other topics or other maps. And DITA images can be added using the image element to point to an image file that uses the href attribute. If you are adding a caption to an image, it is advised to put the image element inside a fig element and use title to add the caption. So here's an example of a concept, XML concept, DITA concept, that has, it's not on the page, has a link to the, well, let's go quickly. Yes, this is badly formatted. We can see here that it has an image href that links to an image. Apologies for the formatting here. Let's go back into presentation mode. So in order to process DITA topics and images and maps, one option is to use the DITA Open Toolkit command line processing. We demonstrated this in class 1, and this will be your exercise for today. Knowing how to use the DITA Open Toolkit is not necessarily going to be a part of the average technical writer's job, but knowing how it works and knowing that the DITA Open Toolkit is virtually under the covers of almost every XML DITA tool, it is certainly worthwhile to know how it works. The DITA Open Toolkit transforms DITA XML source content into deliverable formats like PDF, HTML, and help systems. Nearly every DITA tool has a version of the DITA Open Toolkit integrated within its framework. The DITA Open Toolkit is here at this URL. It's a standalone tool that is run at the command line. If you work in a DITA operations, you or somebody on the team will need to get involved in the DITA Open Toolkit at some point. It might as well be you. The formatting again here is a bit messed up, sorry. My opinion is that your pay and the degree to which you are perceived as a vital part of the team will go up. And this is my opinion based on years of observation. In this class, we'll be using version 3.0.3. Beginning with version 2, the fundamental changes were made in the architecture. It introduced the DITA command, and it has less emphasis on the ANT command. I think this is a good evolution. It's not, in my opinion, fully baked, but I'll walk you through the wobbly parts. So let's do an exercise. Let's create a DITA Open Toolkit workspace. We'll invoke the command line. In Windows, we do it through the command prompt. In Mac, we use the terminal application. And in Windows 10, we go through Windows System to find the command prompt. So you will download the latest version, which is 3.0.3.1 actually. It's the same version that you would use for Windows, Mac, or Linux. You would unzip the Open Toolkit, and then you would navigate your command line, and you would type Java -version to confirm that you have the correct Java version. If you don't, you'll need to go to oracle.com to get the latest version of Java. And I can certainly walk you through that. So at the command line, we will navigate to our DITA Open Toolkit folder. We will navigate to the bin folder. We will type, this formatting, I'm sorry, is screwy again. We will type ./dita-i.doc source sequence DITA map. Format will be HTML5, and we'll create we'll specify an output folder called test. And we'll do the same thing to create a PDF file, and we'll use a folder called test2. Let's go back into presentation mode here. And then afterwards, we'll observe the output of the DITA Open Toolkit in our test directory to find our HTML, and our test2 directory to find our PDF. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that exercise. So the first thing we needed to do is to download the DITA Open Toolkit file. It looks like I tried to do so here. Huh. I don't know what happened there. It looks like this may be one of those rare situations where I actually need to, because of an egregious error, I need to actually stop recording. I hope that's not the case. Let's see if I can just walk right through it here. It says for failed forbidden. How strange. I was trying to download this while I wonder if my virus scan blocked it. Virus detected. Well, that's really strange. What to do? I think I will pause this. Actually, I'll look here. Let's see if I have. I think my virus blocker actually blocked that, but I might be okay. I might have a version. I do. Okay, I had already downloaded this, so I'm sure your virus protector won't block your download, but mine did. And if yours does, I can talk you into how to get around that. But I'm just going to move this into here. And basically what we're going to do then, remember we talked about the command line, how to get to the command line in previous class. So I'll close this window. So what you'll do, I happen to be on Windows 10, so I will go into Windows System, and I will call up the command prompt. Okay, and I'm going to do change directory to desktop, D-E-S-K-T-O-P, enter. So there I am. And I'm going to change directory into my web tools for content providers, CD space WT4CP. These are the directories we made in our in the previous exercises, so they should be all there. So I'm going to do a dir for directory, and I see that I have DITA, so I'm going to cd to DITA. Okay, and I think that should be there by now. Let's just take a sneak peek here. Okay, that is, I think, there. Yeah, it is. So let's take a look at what's in the DITA Open Toolkit. What we're going to be doing is we're going to go, let's go back to our presentation here, and we see that we're going to create, we're going to look, there are existing sample files, and we're going to be making outputs from the existing sample files. So let's take a look at that. It's that doc source samples sequence map. So if we go into doc source samples, we have these maps here: sequence, hierarchy, and task. And then we have tasks, and we have concepts. And these basically are just samples that come with the DITA Open Toolkit. So we're going to navigate. We're going to do our okay. So navigate to the DITA Open Toolkit, and then change directories into the binary folder. Okay, so let's do that. So we have our DITA Open Toolkit here, dir. We're going to change directories into the DITA Open Toolkit. Okay, do a dir. In Mac it's ls. And then we see that there's a bin folder, so we're going to cd into bin. And then we're going to do this exact command line. So in Windows we would say dot slash DITA space dash I space dot dot. That's going to take us down a directory slash DOC SRC slash SAMPLES slash sequence dot DITA MAP space minus F for format. In this case we'll say HTML5 space minus O for output, and we're going to say dot dot slash TEST. Now if you're on the Mac you do everything exactly the same, but you don't need to do this dot slash. So you would just start off, you would just do this much of the command on the Mac. This is just a strange Windows thing that makes you need to do that at first. So now, hope for no typos, press enter. Okay. Okay, maybe Windows 10 has figured this out too. Here I am experimenting as I go. Delete, delete, enter. Okay, so it appears that in this version of Windows 10 it figured out that as well. So what this is doing, the command line is actually reading the sequence.data map, and it's finding all of the topics and images that are referenced in that data map, and it's creating an HTML output. Okay, so now if we go to our Data Open Toolkit and we look in our test folder, we just made that one, and we see that we have something called index.html. I'm going to go ahead and open this with Internet Explorer. And I see that I have all of these topics. My favorite one is washing the car, because washing the car has this great image. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so we've done the first exercise. The second exercise is to essentially do the same thing, but we're going to say our output will be PDF, and we're going to create a new directory called test2. So I'm just going to do my arrow up, and I'm going to backspace over everything until I get to format. I'm going to say PDF space minus O space dot dot slash TEST2 test2, enter. And it's going to do the same thing, but rather than creating an HTML file, it's going to create a PDF file. So again, it's reading that sequence.data map, and it's looking at all of the files that are referenced in that map. So if we sneak out here, take a look at that ourselves. It's in doc source, samples, sequence.data map. So what it's doing is it's referencing all of these topics. It's got tasks and concepts, and it's finding all of these, and it's compiling those as a PDF file. So it looks like it finished. So let's go back into our test2 here. Now we have this directory called test2, and we have a PDF file. We're going to take a look at that. And sure enough, we have a PDF file. Working in the garage, it found all of these topics, and it created all of these, including cross references. And we have our beautiful picture, and we have this great PDF file, which, by the way, also has at the beginning a table of contents, which is hot linked. Pretty cool. So that is how we use the DITA Open Toolkit. Let's go back into our presentation mode here. We've observed the HTML files, and we've observed the PDF file. Now we'll talk about information architecture. Information architecture is the establishment of an environment that fosters structured authoring, compliance with business standards, delivery of content in a variety of contexts, and support of multiple output media. An information architect is responsible for establishing a framework in which consistent, reliable content is produced and delivered in a way that promotes the business goals of the organization. And that's taken from Joanne Hackos's article at this URL. If you view these slides in PowerPoint, the display won't be as bad, and you'll be able to. My goodness, holy cow! This formatting is terrible. I apologize. Okay. Remember, only if I make an egregious error do I stop. So the duties of the information architect are to understand, articulate customer requirements, define DITA environment optimized to reflect customer requirements, define business rules optimized to support customer requirements, create data structures that support content reuse, model metadata, create a usable data authoring environment, develop standards for content assembly, publication, and maintenance, create data structures that support content reuse. Looks like we've started to repeat those. Starting right at about there. Oops. Okay, so that was the end. So apologies again for the formatting, but I think the formatting in your PDF, your PowerPoint file should be just fine. Hopefully that was very understandable for you, and you were able to have success with the Open Toolkit. If you have any problems, please do let me know, and I will be happy to walk you through them. Once again, please let me know if you had any problems. Thank you, everybody. Bye.